Crafty JoJo, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and tonight I'm going to show you, as promised, the tutorial. Actually, I'm going to do the tutorial for this beautiful graduation card, and it actually is a box that holds 6 Ferrero Rochers, or maybe any other type of pralines you want to put in, or maybe a slightly larger gift, because the box is quite large, and it features a sliding mechanism that actually reveals the treats. And on this side there is the envelope with a magnetic closure that allows to put in some money. For the tutorial I've actually modified this, because this apparently was my prototype, and the envelope is the other way around. It's the wrong way around actually, and I'm going to change it. But the beautiful glimmer paper here is actually the celebration freebie, and I just got it in 3 different colors, and I'm using this in this project, and it's just lovely. And if you haven't checked out my web shop, is on my blog, and also in the comments, no, not the comments, next to my video tutorial on my YouTube channel, you can actually find all the links, and there's also a link to my web shop. So if you would like to go and have a look, the celebration offers are on till the end of March, and you get this beautiful paper for free if you qualify with your order, and you qualify for as little as £45. So I think that's a great offer and worth having a look at it. So this is the box we're going to do. This is the slide out mechanism. It's beautiful, isn't it? And whoever will get this box will be really pleased with it, because it actually ticks all the boxes. Chocolate, graduation, money. What else could you want? So let's get started. First of all, I want to introduce all the stuff, all the items that you will need. So the box I'm going to do today is going to be in Sweet Sugar Plum, which is a really beautiful color, and this is the cardstock, the various pieces we will need. I'm going to come to this in a minute, and I'm going to use the color coordinating ink pad Sweet Sugar Plum from Stampin' Pad. So this is what we're going to use, and I'm going to use this little stamp from the Sealed with Love package, and it's called A Teeny Tiny Note, and the Congratulations stamp from the Flourishing Phrases. It's really beautiful, and you can see it here. It's on this card here. Congratulations. And when you slide out the envelope, you can actually see, when you get close enough, can you see it, that it actually says a teeny tiny note. Cute, isn't it? So yeah, this is what we're going to do now. And now that you know the Stampin' Up stamps that I've used, I can put these away, because I really need a bit more space on my work surface here. So what you will need is a piece of white cardstock, apparently, because that will cover the top of the box, and this white cardstock measures 4 inches by 3 inches. And then you will need a piece of cardstock for the bottom of your box to cover up from inside, and it measures 4 1/4 of an inch by 3 1/4 of an inch, and it just goes inside your box on the bottom. This apparently is, isn't it beautiful? Look how glittery and shimmery it is. I love it. It's one of the freebies from the celebration range, and I'm going to use this for the slide out card that's going to hold the envelope. And this one actually measures 4 1/8 of an inch by 3 1/8 of an inch. Can you read it? All right. And then you need, in Sweet Sugar Plum, you need a cardstock measuring 8 by 8 inches, and this is going to be punched with the envelope punch board, and it's going to do the box. And then you would need, for the slide frame, that's how I call it, a piece of cardstock in the same color, and this measures 4 1/4 of an inch by 10 1/8 of an inch. So this is this piece, and the last one is for the outside, and actually I just noticed I haven't measured it, so I didn't put this down. So this measures 4 1/4, of course, because that's the width of the box, by 11 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 of an inch. So but I'm not sure that it's going to stay that long. I think that's why I left it. So it's just the width of the box, 4 1/4 of an inch, and then the full length of your piece of cardstock. So let's begin. First of all, we need the envelope punch board, and we need this piece of cardstock which measures 8 by 8, and you're going to put your oh, I need my tool. You will put your cardstock in at the 2 5/8 of an inch mark. Can you see it? 2 5/8. This is here. All right, and you punch and you score. Be careful because the cardstock is slightly bigger than the board. And then you turn it, and the next score mark is 3 3/8 of an inch. So 3 3/8. Can you see it? And you punch and you score, and then you go back to your first mark, which was 2 5/8 of an inch. So 2 5/8 of an inch is here, and you put it down, and then the last side goes back to 3 3/8 of an inch. So 3 3/8 of an inch, and you punch and you score. And now what you do is you align. Can you see this? There's a score mark here. So this nozzle here, if you align it, you just punch and score again, and this is exactly going to meet you in that corner there. So you just align this nozzle, and then you're going to see, if you punch and score, that this is going exactly in this corner. So again, you align the nozzle. If it is a nozzle, it's not, it's just a pointy thing like a nose, whatever. Sometimes I lack the words because actually English is not my first language. I'm German by origin, so excuse my poor English, but apparently if I do my tutorials in German, nobody in England will understand them. So I have to struggle with my English. So this is what you will end up with. And the next thing we need to do is get our snips and do some cutting. So I'm going to cut this in here, just to that score mark on both sides. And then you turn your cardstock around and do it on the other side as well. Here we go. One and two. All right, so the next thing we need to do is fold and burnish. So we fold our score lines, and now you fold this back in on the first line, put your fingers in here, your nails, and fold it over and really pinch it hard. Make sure that you really, this is what you end up with. All right, so this folds in like so, and we do this on all 4 sides. So oops, and then you pinch this in, and while you fold it over, you really give it a good rub so that this really bends down. All right, here we go. And again, put your nails in this corner and fold it over. So, of course, you also burnish these. All right, this is what you end up with, and you're going to get your wet glue out, and you're just going to glue the box together like so. So first of all, add a bit of Tombow. I love this glue because it's very sticky, sticks quickly, and it's not expensive. And on top of it all, it's not too wet. Although it's wet glue, your paper doesn't go funny from it. So you just want to make sure that you're really precise and you really get the corners right. And That's why I use wet glue, because that still allows for a short period of time to correct. So I'm going to pop this glue on here as well. And going to bring this up to here. And same on the other side. Try to be very precise, because this is important for the sliding mechanism. If the box is slightly dodgy, it won't slide really well. This was a lot of glue, so I have to press it a bit longer. All right, so this is at this stage what your card looks like, and I'm quickly going to use my bone folder. All right, I need paper to write my bone folder. All right, just check all corners are fine. So what you do next is you're going to add some glue here, fold this up, fold this down. Can you look inside the box? Fold it down like so, and then put it down and use your bone folder to really press this well against the wall. So it really needs to be right back, because if you come slightly forward like so and glue it like that in place, the box will be dodgy, and again your sliding will not work very well. All right, so we're going to do this with all four sides. So pop this on the head and then fold this with the bone folder forward and push it in place, and then just wait for the few seconds till the tombow sets, which isn't too long. Just make sure your box gets really straight lines. All right, next one. And while I'm holding this, I'm applying my glue here. And I fold this like so, and push this in place as well. So I'm just pushing it back into the side to make sure that it's really a sturdy box like so. And now you get your cardstock, which is the bottom of the box, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and it's slightly too large, so I'm just quickly going to get my large scissors and just take a pinch off. Sorry. And this is how it goes in here. And again, I would still also need to take, I haven't measured it very well apparently, so this is nice now, you see. So I'm just quickly going to get some tombow. And I'm going to pop this card in here and set this aside to dry. So this is still drying, so I'm putting this aside, And the next thing we need to do is we're going to deal with this card, which is the lid front, and I'm going to use the sadly retired trio corner punch from Stampin' Up, and I love this design. And I'm just going to quickly punch it on all 4 corners, because this goes on the lid. So this is the card for the front here. And then if we have a look, we did the same here, but only on 2 corners. So taking this beautiful glimmer cardstock, you put it in your corner punch. If you haven't got this one, you can also use other corner punches, whatever you've got, or just round them. But I personally fancy this one, so look at it, it's lovely. It's a shame it's retired. All right, so now that we've done these 2, we've prepped these 2, we can set them aside as well. And we are going to deal with the next part, and that is our sliding mechanism. And I've already pre-scored it, but I'm still going to pop it in to show you what it's all about. So the whole thing measures 10 1/8 of an inch by 4 1/4 of an inch, and you would score at 1/8 of an inch, which is this tiny little bit here, and then the next score line is at 3 3/8 of an inch, so 1 2 3 3/8, so this line down, and then add 1/8 of an inch, so you come to 3 1/4 of an inch, and score down here. And then I have misscored it here, so I actually ignore these 2 lines. It's just like here and here. So 3 3/8 of an inch and 3 1/4 of an inch, and then the next score mark is at 6 3/4 of an inch plus 1/8 of an inch makes 6 7/8 of an inch, and that's your scoring done for this bit. And then it's also very tricky because it's only 1/8 of an inch wide in between here, so to burnish these score lines is tricky. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't go 100% square. What you will end up with is a shape like this. Can you see it? So you will have a card that has an end like this. So it should just really just shortly before the scoring starts end, and this is going to close the whole thing together later on. But for the time being, it's all right like this. So what you will do next is you need your metal ruler, and on this bit that has no flap, this bit here has a flap, but this one hasn't. So this is the inside of the card. This is going to hold the sliding mechanism. So we would need to make some marking here. So you get your metal ruler out, and you actually mark, let's say here, 3/4 of an inch on both sides. So again, 3/4 of an inch, you just make a mark like so, and you do this on the top end here as well. So 3/4 of an inch, which is, oops, sorry, I just touched it. This is terrible. 1 2 3, which is here, and the same here, 3/4 of an inch, and there. All right. I need my cutting mat, because that's the next thing we need to do. And I take my craft knife, because that works best for me. And I just do this by freehand. I just cut in here, use my ruler, and cut across. So you have a gap. And we do the same on the other side. So again, 1 2, and this is slightly shorter, so here we go, 1 2 3. All right, this is all my cutting done, so this can go away. And this is what you end up with. So if you fold this in, this is the inside that is going to hold your sliding mechanism. The next thing you will need is a piece of soft but sturdy plastic. And I've actually cut a strip from one of these, you know, where you keep your documents in. So I just put it in my paper trimmer, and it's tricky to cut because it's so wobbly, but it'll fit in this gap. No, it's not. See, this is what I meant. Although I measured it, it still is slightly wider, which is not a big problem, because apparently instead of putting this back in the paper trimmer, I'm just going to slightly freehand widen this. It doesn't matter if it's not precisely. And let's see if my strip fits now. Yes, you see, this was much faster. All right, so what you're going to do is, first of all, get rid of this end, because we don't need this end. We need it open. And then you want to try it on. So you pop it in like so. And it's a nice and loose fit here, but it's a crap fit here. So I'll still take a bit more out from here. Just make sure that you, yeah, now can you see it? It's now really a loose fit, so it has some space here. And we are going to glue this together with double-sided tape, but while putting it together, we need to make sure it has a tight fit, but not so tight that it won't be able to rotate anymore. So it needs to slide. If you tighten it like really tight like this, it won't slide. So that's the tricky bit of it, tricky part. And let me just get my double-sided tape out and pop a bit on, just one end, like so. And even putting this on is a tricky bit, because it's so wobbly. All right, this will do. So back into my card. I'm going to peel this and glue my two bits together. It doesn't matter if it's a bit dodgy. I mean, maybe for a tutorial it matters, it should be straight, but after all, I'm only human after all. So, okay, here we go. Now the fiddly part begins. This is too loose apparently if we have a loop like this. So you need to gently pull, but also not too loose. And then just pop it down and give it a good rub. And cut the excess, oops, there's still paper on it, and just cut the excess off, but be careful not to cut your belt. All right, so this is what you end up with, and this slides easily. And apparently this will have has a better fit than the first one I did, because here, as you can see, if your belt is too loose, you have got the problem that when you push your card back in, this doesn't come all the way in, so I always have to use my finger. This won't happen now. It comes out easily, but going back, it always leaves this bit out because it's too loose. But we'll fix it. So, all right, this is what you end up with, and oh, wait a minute. All right, I did the same mistake as I did in my prototype, because actually we don't need the whole of this flap. So I wanted to amend this, but for some reason I failed to do it. I just couldn't remember it, because actually we don't need this flap, because this needs to be up here so that the box can be stuck on this to slide in and out. So I'm just quickly going to cut this. Actually, I'm going to take my scissors and just cut a flap off like this. You can get rid of this bit, we don't need it. It's enough to close it up like this later on, so that will be fine. Or maybe it's slightly, all right, you see, so it doesn't, when you close it up, can you see it? It doesn't get, if you leave it longer, it will block your belt. So, but like so is absolutely fine. But you can't, of course, glue it together now, because first of all, you need to fit in your card, which is going to be placed upside down, because this is the up. And you just make sure before you put it in place that this fits fine, and it does. The card sits in perfectly all right and can slide in and out. So you have to literally glue it in upside down, and you just do that. And the tricky bit is you would need to apply some double-sided tape here, and this is glimmer paper, so the surface is very rough, and that's why I don't just rely on my double-sided sticky tape. I will also add some Tombow, and you would need to set this to aside for a while and give it a chance to dry before you actually try to pull the very first time. So all right, I am going to glue this really close to the end. And I'm going to cut this here. And then we're going to peel this off. Let me just quickly measure how short I cut it for the next time. So for the next tutorial, this metric, this actually now measures 7, 1, 2, 3, 7¼ I just write that down, 7¼ All right, here we go. Sorry for that. So I've taken off the strip, and I'm still going to add some Tombow. And remember, the card goes face down, so you really have to be as precise as possible by putting this in place. And you give it a good rub. And you can see, yep, this is what we want. So now we can actually close this flap, now that this card is glued in place. And I'm going to put the glue on here, and then tricky bit. All right, so make sure that you give it a good push so that it squares up properly, and push your card in place, and then you can apply some pressure here as well as here. When the Tombow, it doesn't matter if there's a bit of sticky fingerprints on here, because this is going to be covered up by the box anyway, so never mind. All right, just keep pushing this in place while it's still wet. All right, so, and we push this. All right, so at this point we would need to bring in our box, and before we can actually glue our box in place, we would need to glue our little strip on. And this is a piece of ribbon that I've actually folded in half and already glued it together, and this was 3½ inch, and I'm just going to glue it on like so. So I'm going to use my Tombow, and the way you glue it on is like you let it stick out, because that's the end that you're going to use to pull. So this needs also to dry very well before you actually give it a pull. And then the next thing is, because this box goes on top of here and needs to be attached to your belt, and apparently as this pink glitter card is going to slide out to the left when we pull to the right, we would need to attach the box here on this bit. So what we're going to do is get the super duper tape out again, add a strip, just eyeball it. Ow, I just cut myself, look at this. Oh no, I have to get a plaster, bear with me. All right, I'm back with the plaster. So now let me quickly check. Yeah, this is the right end. So we're going to pop this on here. Oh, at least my eyeballing was perfect, but this eyeballing was crap. Well, I guess I'm gonna survive. So, all right, we are taking this off, and I don't add any Tombow because apparently this is a flat surface, so this is going to stick really well. Now, aligning this is also crucial, so really try to be as precise as possible. Just give it a good rub. And this is what you end up with. It's normal that this is a bit floppy. It's going to be very sturdy once the outside, the case, is wrapped around it. So this is the next thing we're going to do. Oops, I'm stuck here. So this is where this bit comes in. And we need to do the scoring for this. And this was also tricky, because apparently you have to measure it. So I'm going to get my scoreboard out. Here we go. Pop this on, and this is how I actually did it the first time. So I'm going to score here, and this is actually the 3/3/8 of an inch. Did I write that down somewhere? No. So 3/3/8 of an inch is my first score mark. And I am going to fold it. So this then and this is my next score mark. It is 4 7/8, 4 7/8 of an inch. So this is, yes, so literally I'm doing this. So the next score mark is at 8. I'm going to write this down at 8 inch. So we've got this, this, and this is, I think 8 wasn't good. Should have been 8 1/8. All right, I'll do this. The problem with this is, yeah, now it's a perfect fit. Every box has slightly different dimensions due to the fitting of the frame. So this in my opinion, is here, and that is at 9 3/4. 9 3/4. I'm bleeding through. I don't believe it. Oh my god. I really cut this. Well, at least blood is one of the things I won't run out so easily. Got plenty of that stuff. So this is actually how your frame will fit to your box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Tombow out. Let me just get rid of this scoreboard. I'll add some Tombow here. I'll fold this over and give it a good rub. Can't believe this. Have I got blood somewhere else? Thought I cleaned it. Oh dear. All right. And now this end will actually fit perfectly onto here and give you a clean seam. So I'm going to add more Tombow. I love Tombow. It's just great. Make sure that you wrap your cover tightly around it, squaring it nicely. Hold it in place till the Tombow sets. So we're talking about 30 seconds maybe. Give it a good rub. I'll close this. Ta-da! Ta-da! You see, because of the tight fit, it's working. It pulls out and it pulls the pink card completely in without me. It was the fit. Actually, in this box, my belt has a slightly too loose fit. But never mind, still nice. All right, so this is annoying, but also never mind. I actually had the same mistake here, as you can see, but it's handmade and it's made with love. So here we go. I'm not copying these designs from anybody else. I'm actually creating the measurements and everything myself. So you are currently seeing the process of developing this design. So this is actually our top bit, and what you will need to decorate the top is this. You will need to make a little paper roll. I'll show you quickly how I did that, but you just take some paper out of your printer and you cut a piece of paper and then use anything like a pen and roll it up like so. Oh, I rolled it up from the wrong end. It's bleeding again. I can't believe this. Where's this blood coming from? All right, so you just roll it up, and while it is on your pen, you add some glue here, roll it and hold it till it's actually set, and then you just take it off. This is what I've done. So I've prepped one, which is here, and this needs to be inked up a bit. So I'm going to use the Sweet Sugar Plum from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to use my distress tool, if only I can find it. Here it is. So basically just rubbing it on like so on both ends. Gives you this little look. And I've also done this with this card. So you're just going to distress your card. And this is what it looks like. Actually, we could. I've already prepped this, but I wanted to still show you how to do this. Can't pick it up with my plaster finger. for our graduation hat, for this, we would need to create these two shapes. So this one here, this bit here, measures 1 1/8 of an inch in width, and actually it originally was like 1 1 1/4 inch wide long, and I just used my scissors and literally cut it into this shape. So this is the shape you want to cut, and how to create this is also quite simple, because you need to take a piece of scrap cardstock and you draw a line that is 2 1/4 inch long, and then draw a second line. Before you do this, after you've done this 2 1/4 inch, mark the middle with a dot. I placed the dot here, and then add another line that is slightly shorter. This is 1 1/2 inch only, and once you've got this cross, all you need to do is use your ruler and draw lines, and then I just cut it out. That's basically how I created this. So I'm also going to distress the corners here, so let me just quickly do this. Right, and I also did this on in, so quickly distressing it. And I love the color coordinating papers and inks that Stampin' Up has. I don't know if you've ever seen them. If not, go and visit my web shop. It's on my blog. There's a link there, shop now or something like that, or just shop, I don't even know how I called it. And this is how it's going together, but not yet. All right. So how to put this together is simple. You just take dimensionals, also from Stampin' Up. Like everything I've used today is from Stampin' Up. And basically put them here. 2 will do. Peel them. Can you see this? Am I still working in frame? Just so, yeah, all right. Okay. Actually, before I'm going to put this on, I forgot to tell you this. You would need to punch a hole in the center, and as the center is nicely marked with your lines, so this is the smallest punch that I've got, which is 1/16 of an inch, and that's the hole for the tassel. And I've actually already made a tassel, which is very simple. You just take your twine. I used, of course, color coordinated twine, and you just make quite long length and fold them on half, fold them in half, fold them in half, and always cut the ends until it's short enough. And then you just tie this together, like when the strand is like so, you just take one out and tie it together, and then fold it down in half and use a second one and knot it around it and just blend them in. So this is what I did to do the tassel. And the tassel goes through this little hole here. So you want to try and, I'm going to use my scoring tool. No, nothing will work. All right, I'll try this. Can't get it in. Don't want to bore now, it is. The pliers like that, the tweezers will do the job. All right. So, of course, you leave a good length for it to dangle about. And at the back side, you just take double-sided tape again. Just a short strip. Make sure I'm not going to cut myself again. Oh my. And you just glue it in place like so. All right. Now I've added all sorts of dirt onto here. So my little hat with tassel pops on like so. All right. So to decorate the front of my card. This is my tassel. And then where is my paper roll? Where did I put this? This needs to go here. And I've already prepared a little bow. That is the same ribbon as I used here, color coordinated of course, and I'm just going to glue this on here with Tombow, and I have to set it aside to actually dry anyway. So when you pop this down, okay, quite a bit, because I'm just going to set it aside, and I mean really aside, somewhere out of the way, and leave it to dry, because we haven't finished yet. We need to stamp the sentiment, and the sentiment is congratulations from the set I introduced to you previously. So this is it. So I need to ink it up, and I'm going to place it here. Congratulations. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention what I also have prepped beforehand is the tiny little envelope. I made it with the envelope punch board, and the cardstock for this measures 4 by 4 inches, and you just punch and score at 2 inches. And then I just used the trio corner punch again to put this little design in here, and the closure actually is magnetic. So these little magnets I buy on eBay. They are quite cheap. Neodyme or dime, or however you pronounce it, neodyme magnets, and I think I paid £4.50 for 100, so that's 50 pairs, and it closes up nicely. So I've already prepped this. I'm not going to show how to use the envelope punch board. If you don't know how to use the envelope punch board, just cut your cardstock to 4 by 4 inches, put it on the score mark at 2 inches, punch and score, turn your cardstock, put your cardstock back in to the 2 inch mark, and punch and score again. Do this on all 4 sides, and this is what you end up with. So I've already prepped this, and what's left to do is we need to put this card on here. So I'm going to do this with Tombow, and we would need to actually add a bit around here as well, so that the corners don't stick up. One, two, three, 4, and then a bit in the center. And I'm going to pop this on, and we would try to aim to place it centrally. We can't slide about much because of the corners, because if we do, the glue will smudge. So gently dab it in, gently dab it in place. Like so. It's a bit delicate. Already looks beautiful, doesn't it? So we can put our hat in place, and I'm also going to use Tombow for this. So just a bit of Tombow. Tombow does the job. And we are going to pop it on slightly angled, like oops, like so. We are going to dab it in place carefully. That was my husband. He was signaling that the toad in the hole is ready, but I'm still videoing, so he can't disturb me now. Has to wait for another 10 minutes. All right, just leave this to dry. This looks so cute. I love it. I don't even know which box is prettier. What do you think? And the last bit is to pop this in. Maybe I'm going to put this way around. What do you think? Or maybe like so. Oh, I think I'm going to put it like so. So I'm going to use, guess what, Tombow. And I'm going to pop it on like so. Can still turn my bow, is not 100% dry yet. And what's left to do is for the front panel, we need 7 rhinestones. So I'm going to stick them in my corners. Stuck them on here and they stick so well. Can't even take them off again. Oh my god. And I can't use my index finger because it's bleeding. Oh dear. I love live tutorials. There's always something that goes wrong. It doesn't matter how well you prep. Always something going wrong. Oh, never mind. Alright. It's still fun. I love crafting. It's still good fun. Even if something goes wrong. Like the wrong measurements and things like it. At the end of the day. We'll get there. Can't believe I cut myself really badly. All right, so this is this in place. Now what's left is to stamp a little sentiment on this card here. And oops, did I just smudge it here? Yes, I did. Still not dry. So I'm not so sure. Let me just get a piece of scrap cardstock and stamp it. Well, it's really a tiny writing, isn't it? And I was thinking, but I think that, I mean, it's color coordinated anyway, so. It says a teeny tiny note, banknote. And that's why I made it slightly bigger, because I thought, like, if somebody wants to put in like 2 50-pound notes, the first envelope I made might have been slightly too small. Here we go, a teeny tiny note. That's cute, isn't it? So we slide our box out. Ta-da! And now I'm not going to repeat the mistake I made on this one, because here I glued the envelope the wrong way around. So now, like, you know, the wrong way, because this catches when you try to put, oh, now it's not. Well, it does. It did before several times, but as you can see, it's not doing it now where I want to demo it. So I was thinking of maybe putting it in sideways, like so, or this way. But if I put it in this way, I think it's slightly difficult to put money in. So maybe the best way to pop this one on is sideways, because sideways it should slide in and out easily, because this goes in easily. What do you think? So to pop this on, I'm going to do the same trick again. 2 pieces of double-sided tape, which is gone missing again, plus Tombow in the middle, and then leave it to dry for quite a while. Because it doesn't stick, the double-sided tape alone doesn't stick well enough on the glitter paper. So here we go. Peel it off. Number 1. Number 2. Get my Tombow out. Tombow it. Be quite generous. I'll close this up. And now pop it on. Bring it on. Yes, my cockerel is mistaken about the time. He thinks actually it's 5 in the morning. but it's 5 in the afternoon, so I give it a good press down here, and oh, still no. Are you kidding me? All right, it's going in. All right, I need to actually, as a weight, steal my 6 Ferrero Rocher and pop them in here. Now this one slides in with no problems, whilst this one is having problems. And doesn't it look gorgeous? So cute. I love it in pink as well. What do you think? Let me know your comments. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my video channel as well as my blog, and thanks for following me, and hope to see you soon again. Bye.